Good morning, welcome back to Grandma Jane's World. I'm going to demonstrate how to make a bracelet. And if you can make a bracelet, you can make a necklace and everything else. And I'll tell you, I went to the craft store and kind of got a bunch more beads. I was really low on beads. And you need a beading wire. And what I've got, it was like a 25 feet of 0.018 inch beading wire, okay? It's satin silver is what I got. And what you want to do, you also need to have some crimping beads, and they're just like a little bead with a hole in them, and I'll show you how they're used. And then you want some ends to your bracelet, a way to fasten it. And you can do like a lobster catch type style, or you can do, I use this a lot because they're kind of easy to do, easy to get on and off. Sort of the catch with the circle and the little post that goes through, okay? So we'll get started here. And then you also need a little wire pincher, a wire cutter, and a crimper. Looks like that. They're not very expensive. You can get those at your craft store too. Today, I think I'm going to make, I've been making some. I'm going to a UNI, University of Northern Iowa football game this weekend. And I made for my aunt and a cousin of mine, purple and gold bracelets that I'm going to give them. They can wear those to the game or whenever they want. Then I also have made some, I'm a big Iowa Hawkeye fan, of course, too. Made some gold and black bracelets for my friends when I go tailgate and go spend the night and go to the game and everything in gold and black. They're really fun gifts, and they're not expensive to make, and they're just easy and they're fun. Everybody loves them. So I also made some that were sort of like with wooden beads. They remind me of like a rosary, a wooden rosary. And then I hung a little cross from some of them, which I thought was kind of cute. Different, you know, you can personalize them any way you want, and that's what I really like about them too. So I cut off a strand of the beading wire, and I have this little apparatus here that I can measure. So you measure about 8 inches for a bracelet. You don't use usually more than 6.5 to 7 inches of it, but that way you have the ends kind of free to work with, and we'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, here's a little crimping bead, one of those with the little hole in them. You go through that first. Sometimes it's a little awkward because you're working with little stuff, but well, it's gonna be awkward now for me to film it, of course. Okay, you go through that hole. That's why I need my little cheater glasses on. And you get it on like that. Then you decide if you want a gold or silver closure. And let's see, I'm gonna do in a blue bracelet today. I think I'm gonna go with silver because it looks like there's more silver on those beads than anything. And it doesn't matter. I mean, I like gold and silver mixed too, so really doesn't matter. Okay, so here we go. I put the little circular part. You see it good enough? That's what I'm hoping. And you have the crimping bead. And then what you do is go through that little closure part and get your crimping bead, and you loop through the enclosure part and in through again, wrap it around, and put it through the crimping bead. Jane, put it through the crimping. It's sort of hard to demonstrate and do it, and it's a little awkward anyway because you're working with small stuff, but you get it done. Doesn't take me too long to make these at all. So anyway, let me make sure I'm filming it. Okay, and then you push that crimping bead up to the little loop on the closure part, and this is when we want to crimp it. This is when they live up to their name. Get it up there tight, And you have a little strand of it hanging out there that you're going to loop through some of the beads. You just have to make sure that little crimp is right up to there, because you don't want to have a little space of wire on your bracelet. That wouldn't be too attractive. And once you start making them, you'll know more like what I mean by that. Okay. Well, it's like 40 some degrees here today in Charles City, Iowa. But it's going to get warmer like Wednesday. I think I'm going to go, I should film it too if I do. I'm going to go to Clear Lake. I need a few things from my craft store over in that way, and I think I'll go to Clear Lake on Wednesday and catch some sun on the beach. If the water is too cold, I won't float. I'll just go on the beach because I'm just not ready to give up summer yet. It went so fast. And it's like as you get older, it goes faster for sure. So anyway, you gotta enjoy every minute of it. I haven't started subbing quite yet, so I'm gonna enjoy a little time off. So I've crimped it. See, you crimp it, and that just closes that little bead down on the wire so it's snug on there and stays. Then the next thing you do is start threading on your beads. And I like little spacers between them sometimes. And like, let me see, I'll show you one. Like a spacer goes on. Just thread it right in there. And here I have a silver, but I have gold on there, and I like it mixed. It doesn't matter. And when it's all done, you can't really tell that it's mixed anyway, because the diamonds are on the outside of that, the little fake diamonds. Then you can start with smaller beads and go up to bigger beads in the middle, and you can do anything. And you can do it symmetrically, but you know what? I kind of like it when it's not symmetrical. When it's just sort of random, put them on there. I think that's kind of cool looking too. Chunky or something, whatever you want to call it. It's just unique. Then you know there's nothing else like it. And as you put them on, that end little wire from putting the fastener on can go through there as well. So it's not sticking out. And then when it's sticking out the other side after it's gone through a bead, you can snip it. You don't need it anymore. Snip it down, or you can wait till you're done, whichever you choose. Okay, I'm just going to keep threading these on. And I do like a little spacer in between, or some type of little design on there between. I made one of these for an older friend for the Iowa game the other day. She just loved it. And here she'd had a clothing store and everything. It has tons of jewelry, but what's cool about making your own is they're unique. There's nothing else quite like it. And that is really nice. All right, and I'm gonna put silver right next to that gold piece. If I can find where to do it. Here it is. Yeah, well, that's a little harder one to do because there's a bunch of holes in it. Let's see. I'm gonna leave it off for now. It would take too long to do that. Look at that one. It looks like a little marble, like a clear marble or whatever, with little royal blue specks in it. I think this royal blue combo. Sometimes at the craft stores, they have like a whole packet of beads that you can put together, and they're really neat if you like the selection of them. They're really neat to use, and they're different shapes. There's big ones, little ones. Look at that, like a little cage. And yeah, just cool. It really is cool. But you kind of want to watch it as you go. You don't want it to be more than 8 inches. I usually measure from not the closure, but from the start of the beads to the end of the beads. And if it's around 7 inches, I stop. You can measure the person that you're doing it for, wrist. I mean, some people have larger wrists, some people have a little wrist. And you don't want the bracelets to be too big on their wrist either. I've got a bunch. Oh, I'm so excited that I've got all these. I think I'm going to make some Christmas gifts, and I'm going to stop back at my craft store and get some red and green beads for Christmas, and I'm going to do my granddaughters each Christmas bracelet, and yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. So there's so many things you can do. One thing I'm not really sure of and I have to get better at is earrings. I've got some things to do earrings, little, you know, catches like this. And I've got to play around with that more so I can show you how to do those. Because it would be nice to have, you could actually give someone a bracelet, necklace, and earring set. And that would be cool. Okay, so far here's what I've got. This one's kind of cool, hanging down there a little bit. And then I've been putting little spacer things in between each. I kind of like the looks of it, but you don't have to. You can put the bead right up to the bead. But I thought on this one it's sort of fancier, so I might do that. And I like to stagger all the different designs, but I like to have, like, I don't really care to have the pattern all the time. Sometimes I like just the random putting them on. I know there's a gal that's from Charles City that lives in California, and she makes really expensive. You can, you know, making jewelry isn't always the cheapest. If it just depends, because sometimes beads and stuff are not that cheap. And so if you she makes very expensive. Sometime I'll have to show you some of her stuff on my show. Her mother still lives in town, and a lot of people have her necklaces and stuff, pretty ornate. So you can spend as much as you want, is what I'm saying, on this type of jewelry, or you can make them where they look great and they're not that expensive, which usually what I do. But these are just, I think, really cool gemstones and stuff. Look at it. Isn't it cute? I think it is. So anyway, here I go. I'm going to measure this again. You know what? It's about as long as I want it to be to fit around somebody's wrist and not be too big. I can't get these through. That's going to take a while because there's so many holes. I can't find the hole to have it come out. So I'm going to have to work on that one. But anyway, so we're at the end. So I'm going to put a little one of those spacers here. I got a clear one even. There's so many beads. I just can't believe it. I've made pearl necklaces and everything, and with different designs, and it's just fun. I mean, just let your creative juices go, you know. Let them flow. So anyway, here we go. I had a royal blue dress on the other night. This would look really good with it. Okay, now you get back to your crimper. You need one of those little crimper beads at the end. Put that on first. It's getting kind of little here. And you got to really hang on to this, because if you let go, your whole string of beads will fall off. And guess who's done that? Of course, me. Okay, so there's a crimper on there. And then I put the other end. You can see it? On through. Make sure you get it through. And then come back to your little crimper bead and put it through there. I mean, it makes sense once you start doing it. You don't even have to think about it. You just do it. And then you want to pull it so it's no big gap in wire between the beads, the crimper bead, and the closure. You want it pretty snug before you crimp it. And the end is usually easier than the beginning. And then you just put it down there and you crimp on that bead. And then what you have to do is I cut this off a little more and thread that back down through the bead and cut it off, the extra, and look at, you have a bracelet. Isn't that cool? I think they're cool, and they're a lot of fun, and there's something to do in the winter or on a rainy day or anytime, and teach your kids and grandkids to do it, and they'll always have, you know, a piece of jewelry that they can wear, and it's personalized. It's cool, you know. And the beads and stuff in some of these awesome craft stores are just like endless in what you can do. So have fun with it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learned. If you have any questions, put it in comments, and I'll try to answer them. And have a great day, and I love you. Bye.